And I think I was like the youngest employer Masaka has ever registered.
What was like that defining moment for you that said, aha, this is my route. I am taking it, whether it is straight, whether it is rocky, whether it is shaky, this is where I'm focusing.
So it goes back. I think it was March 1st.
Oh, you even remember the date?
Recently, I made a list of the number of businesses I've done, and they totaled up to 21. Because my social battery runs out very fast. Would you rather be a king of a village or a chief in a huge kingdom?
And welcome to another episode of Young and Branded, where we speak about all things creativity, purpose, and owning your brand as a young person. This is episode 3. Yo, guys, we're about to do 100 episodes in the next 1 year. Now, for today's episode, we're going to be having a continuous conversation. Last episode, we looked at the branding starter pack. What are those very simple things you need to start with? Now, we are looking at why it's important for you to start early and to start now. When we launched the Young and Branded podcast, we had a very interesting guy that joined us on the panel, and he's actually our very first guest. Editor, please put in like a ting, 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 ting. Nathan Kuteesa.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, Nathan.
Hello, Hannah.
How does it feel to be the very first guest on this podcast?
I'm extremely honored.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely happy. Thank you for having me. I was very excited when you told me that. And here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So you could be asking yourself, who is Nathan Kuteesa? Actually, it is Kuteesa Joseph Nathan.
Yes.
So you are an award-winning photographer and filmmaker. You also are the team lead of Fancy Media, a media company in Uganda. And you have over half a decade of experience in the media field. And yet you're so young. We're going to get into how you got all that experience at such a young age, yeah? And then you're also a golfer with the Uganda Golf Club. That's interesting. Also get into golfing because some of us feel like golfing is for those guys up there. We need to start early as well in golfing. And you also are a master's degree scholar at the University of East London. How are you able to do all these things, Nathan?
Well, God. I would say, all the glory goes to God. Yeah.
And then you are a Rotarian as well.
Yes.
We're going to get into all those details a little bit later. But first of all, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And so who is Nathan?
Nathan Kuteesa. I'm a creative. I love business. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I love working with people. I love building things. I run Fancy Media, communications, media, events management. I love code.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically me.
God first.
110%.
You know, those guys who say God first, laying at the actions are not God fasting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so beyond what we've read about you, Nathan, like what is like that one thing that not very many people know about you that you're going to release here on the podcast? Like away from the things you're writing on LinkedIn and everything you know about, like what's like that one thing that you think makes you unique and stand out?
I love spending time alone. A lot. Some people say it's being a loner, but I enjoy my own company.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Wi-Fi, give me TikTok or YouTube and video games. Yeah,
And
you
you're
have
good
me
to
sorted
go.
for like a day or so. So yeah, spend a lot of time.
So would you call yourself an introvert?
I'm a loud introvert.
You're a loud introvert.
So if I have to be extroverted, I be, but then after a while I burn out. So yeah.
I wrote an article that I speak about all the time called Excuse Me Introvert, Excuse Me Extrovert, where I basically shared that if you put yourself in a box of, oh, I'm an introvert, I can't say anything, I need to keep low key, then you're missing out. And if you're an extrovert that thinks that every time you need to be sharing your opinions loudly, even when you can't read the room, then you're missing out as well. So I love the fact that you say you love to keep it, but when it's necessary for you to step out,
Yes.
You step out.
Thank you.
So Nathan, you're a very young guy. When did your journey start in building the Nathan who is here today? Team lead, fancy media, award-winning photographer, award-winning filmmaker. Hey!
Thank you.
Where did you start?
So when I was younger, my dad stepped out of formal employment. I actually love my father very much and my mom. So stepped out of formal employment, and I grew up seeing him building the business that he has right now. So also me at a young age, I started emulating. So I did my very first business between the ages of 10 and 12. I don't remember so well. Yeah.
What was the business?
Oh, I used to make paper bags. So in the neighborhood, there was a gentleman who used to sell chapatis. So I would make paper bags out of newspapers. And I think I was like the youngest employer Masaka has ever registered. Because like our neighbors, they had, I would pay them, I think around 20 shillings per paper bag. So I would go and monitor how the work is going. So it started early on. So down the road, when I'm in high school, that's when I get really interested in media. It's around my senior 3, then senior 6, I buy a camera and I get mentorship and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So you're an entrepreneur, but then you decided to have a focus in media.
Yes, please.
What was like that defining moment for you that said, aha, this is my route. I am taking it, whether it is straight, whether it is rocky, whether it is shaky. This is where I'm focusing.
So it goes back. I think it was March 1st.
Oh, you even remember the date?
Yeah, but March 1st. The year, quote unquote. So we are having Sosh with another girl's school, and then this team comes and takes our pictures, and they look lovely. So I loved seeing things because I knew what the picture looked like on the camera, but seeing the output, it was way different. So that kind of feels when I was like, oh, this is what I want to pursue. So I started saving money, and a few months down the road, got a camera. I had a camera in school, so I'll take pictures of my friends. I still have a few.
This is A-level.
Yeah, this is senior 6. I still have a few pictures of my friends and so on and so forth. So that moment when I got that substantial sum of money, even right now it's still substantial to buy that camera.
How much is that?
It was 1 million shillings.
Okay.
Yeah. For senior 6.
Yeah, it's a lot of, even now it's a lot of money.
Yes,
Than we don't have 1 million shillings cash.
So that's when I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do. And I didn't really have a viewpoint of the future where I'm going to go. But I was like, no, I love this. Let me jump into this. So
I know there are so many people who are watching and they feel a bit disturbed because we have so many things we want to do. Like so many of us are multi-talented, and it's a bit difficult for us to find that defining moment to at least narrow it down to a certain level. Not saying that, I am strictly a photographer, but at least saying I love medicine, I love engineering, I love media, but I can't do all 3. I'll just focus on media and everything within media as a whole.
Yes.
So fancy media, that started also A-level?
Yes. Fancy photography. That was the name.
It was fancy photography.
Fancy photography. I made some business cards, having birthdays. Most of the things which I didn't even know what I was talking about. But you just start and then figure it along the way. So it was fancy photography, then fancy media, and now it's more like coming fancy group because we're doing events as well. So fancy events, fancy media, running alongside each other.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I think even Young and Branded, before you became Young and Branded, like originally, my original YouTube show was called The Bottom of It, that I used to edit on like my Infinix phone on InShot. I have the video somewhere there, but like it keeps on evolving. I think with time, the more exposure you get and the likes.
And to take you back. It's okay to do many things until when you find out what you want to do. Recently, I made a list of the number of businesses I've done, and they totaled up to 21.
Hey, 21!
Yeah, so you just do things until when you realize I'm good at this. I tried agriculture. Heads up, if you're not on ground, don't do it. There's so many other things. So
yeah. And I think it's important for us to share about that because sometimes people think, it's only those guys that began early. They seem to be serious early then. Do you think you necessarily do you think like the Nathan of then was necessarily focused or had like a vision, or like, do you think like the Nathan of then was that exposed, or like?
The Nathan of then loved money.
Oh.
I think, what should I say? The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
But okay, I think he liked money. He didn't love it, right?
Oh, yeah, he liked money.
So the whole point is I was looking at the best ways to optimize myself to make a buck. So it wasn't all about, I want to be Bill Gates or Elon Musk down the road. But I was like, okay, I have this thing in front of me. I have an opportunity. Exploit it. Like that, yeah.
Did you have any people like influence you into like that industry? Like anybody mentor you, anybody guiding you? Because I know how important that is. And for anybody that is watching and you're finding it a bit difficult to find a mentor, first of all, Young and Branded is your number one mentor. Yeah. And then moving forward to like now the physical, actual in contact mentors. Did you ever have any that really guided your journey into who you are today?
Yeah. And of which mentorship doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Keep on picking up mentors along the way. But the team lead of the team that took our pictures on social, Namwesi Wako, quote unquote. Yeah. So, and he helped me down the road. He helped me get that first camera. He helped me show me the ropes of this is how you talk to clients.
Are you still in contact with him?
Yeah, we talk from time to time. So that's the mentorship I got down the road, especially in the media field.
Yeah. For me, I think my biggest mentors have been my parents as well, because they have guided me in every small decision I've made so far. And then I later on gradually now got into contact with people who are in the space and began to learn from them. Why do you think it's important for you to be mentored?
It helps you skip so many hurdles. If someone... If it took someone 10 years to figure something out, it's going to take you 2 months because you're being told, do A, B, C, and D. This is how you handle this and this. Especially in the media field, I know, not that I even believe or feel, I know that we struggle a lot with the business side of things. We learn the skill. That's why you find like there are so many amazing creatives who are broke because they learn the skill. They know how to take a good picture. They know how to be an amazing voiceover artist, but they don't know how to handle clients. You know how to quote, to invoice, how to follow up on leads, things like that. So mentorship can really, really save you a lot.
So were you mentored also into like the business of media? Because we are struggling out here. I know some people are struggling, very talented, very skilled, but we failed to monetize our work. We failed to have like that business aspect of it. How did you get mentorship into that space of like actually now organizing your skills very well to make money?
So yes, I was mentored a bit, but then still going back to my parents, them being entrepreneurs, it also helped a bit because you grow up when you're seeing distribution, you see people getting quoted, receipts and things like that. So it helped out a bit. And then still I went to business school. So,
that's also another plus. So you have the actual theory knowledge. And you're trying to get it into practical. And now you're doing your master's in business.
Yes.
Hey, okay. So was it smooth? It sounds like for you everything was working. You got 1 million, you bought a camera, you began working, you got mentored, you got into business. Things are smooth.
Well, it was never smooth. And it's something, I was having a conversation with one of the people on our team that knew, who were working with them out of town. And I was like, I've been a broke man before and I've seen also the other side of life and I'll never be a broke man. And they're looking at me like, you're lying to us. No, but it wasn't smooth. Definitely my difficulties might not measure to another person's difficulties. In Uganda or African society, we have this thing where we want to compare misery. And we're like, me, I went through this. No, me, I actually went through worse.
I was suffering more. So we like to glorify suffering.
Yes, I wouldn't want to glorify suffering, but it wasn't easy. Back in high school, many people won't believe it. I used to get pocket money of 20,000.
No.
Yeah. So actually even raising that million was another story. Maybe if we get time, another time I'll tell it.
You sacrificed your heart or you bought a kidney. You sold your kidney.
Long story. But so it was all still, even while I was in school, I was doing business. I saved some money, started making stickers, selling them on VDs. On VDs, I would never be seated. I'd be selling stickers. First time I used 20,000 to make stickers of 180,000, sold all of them. got that money, topped up, bought a club. Then we got a big function to Trinity College now, being where everyone was excited. They paid up, made a profit of like 800,000. So that's how we come to the million. So it was never smooth.
It was never smooth. You know what they say, your brand speaks before you do. And that is why we trust Dzyn Ape for all your digital branding needs. Now, if you are ready to level up, check them out at dzynape.com for a clean, bold, and creative look. This episode is proudly sponsored by Dzyn Ape. Yeah, I think we like to glorify suffering so that we can prove a point that we are here because I think you went through a lot or the likes.
Yes.
So I love that. So let's talk about, so we've talked about your family, how your family also played a role because of the work they do. Let's talk about how the community, did the community like have open arms for you, especially as a young person that's starting early? I've had so many stories about, personally, my personal experience. When people look at your age, they look at you, they don't want to work with you, right? And yet you feel you're passionate, you're skilled, you have the drive, you have the motivation. So like, how did the community welcome you, like in your early stages as a creative?
Definitely, there are a few supportive people, but still they are not paying you what you feel you should be getting.
Yeah.
But well, that's what's on the table, so you take it. And there are people who really think this person is playing. Up to now, I meet some relatives, and they're like, "Oh,
what do you do?"
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you're into photography." And like, yeah, you're like, "Oh yeah, keep doing that as you wait for like God to open doors." These people don't know.
I know. They don't know speaking money.
Amen. So yeah. It's and you should never really base on what they say to shape what you're going to be or what you want to do, because you're not ice cream. You won't be loved by everyone. So
that's a new one. You're not ice cream. You won't be loved.
So you just let the words pass by your ears as long as you have a vision and you're delusional enough to go for it.
You know, sometimes it's hard as a young person because we feel like people should understand us and our dreams and our visions. So it's very disappointing when somebody's telling you, oh, you can't do it, or you're too young to do this or that.
Yes.
What is like one tip you would give somebody that's listening in regards to shutting out that negative vibe and energy when you're starting early?
Just keep doing what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it's this consistency that is going to be able to push you. Consistency is compounding. You do a small thing today, tomorrow, and then over time, people are like, "Oh, you actually do this. Oh, you're actually good at this." So, as long as you can open your eyes and go and do it, do it. Don't give up.
Yeah, I'm like the number one ambassador of consistency because I know how. We're going to talk about the long-term benefits now, and I know how consistency can really pull off the biggest opportunities for you and the biggest doors for you. So guys, keep consistent. So Nathan, what long-term benefits do you have now that you began early that you think if you started today you wouldn't have at the moment?
I usually tell my people to do business the formal way, so that if opportunities come up, you are in position to take them up. For example, an organization is going to come out and they need media and communications, or they need branding or something, and you are in position to do the work because this work is never complicated.
Yeah.
But then they're going to ask you for audited books for 3 years. They're going to ask you for bank statements for the past year. You're not registered. So one thing that I once in a while, when I remember, I thank myself. I'm like, Nathan, thank you for doing this for yourself. Was starting early, registering the business early. Because the business, for example, Fancy Media, is in the eyes of the Ugandan law, it's actually quite old.
How old?
5 years.
Oh, you actually began early.
Yeah, so registered it early on and things like that. So it's there are opportunities that I wouldn't be able to take up now. For example, if I avidly buy newspapers, not that I actually read the news, but I'm looking for tenders.
Did you come with a newspaper this morning?
I did.
I was like, wait, this guy reads newspapers.
No, I don't. I usually look at the cover art and then look for tenders on the inside. So those are things that I wouldn't be able to chase if I didn't start then. Yeah.
I think so many of us have so much bias about doing things legally or starting things legally. One of the biggest fears that people fear taxes. Yeah, they fear taxes. They fear money. I think they fear their money being about tracked.
Yes.
I don't know. So how are you able to get over some of those fears? And is it true? First of all, is it true? Because I'm also registering. I've just registered one of my companies this year. So I'm also starting in that regard.
Yeah.
So what does the whole taxation, thing look like?
Taxes are
as
to
a
be
young
feared.
person, do you think as young people we can handle that stuff?
Yeah, we can. I'm handling. I don't know if I'm old, but yeah. But
he's young, guys.
Taxes are to be feared. That's a very valid reason, right? And also being tracked. But then you see, would you rather be king of a village or a chief in a huge kingdom, right? So you'd rather have a lot of money coming. You pay the 18% VAT, which is very painful. You pay the company tax, you pay the withholding or something, but you're getting a bigger chunk, and also your cut will be bigger than taking small cash payments. And at the end of the day, you're burning yourself out to make something substantial.
But I also believe that compliance and obedience helps open a window to something greater. There are certain opportunities you won't be able to get because you are hiding, you are illegal, you are low-key, you are not able to tap into the next big stage. So I think that is definitely a pass on that line.
Yes.
So how has the early start shaped your creative voice?
How's
the you of then? Do you still think the same way? Do you still present yourself the same way? Has your branding changed over time?
Yeah, it definitely has. And sometimes I look back and I beat myself over some opportunities that I missed because I didn't know how to handle them. Because you're creatively presenting yourself a different way, brand-wise, you're not yet there. Then it was part of the process. So once in a while I might show up wearing a suit. When I'm at home, I'm not wearing a suit. But then when you're putting yourself out there, you have to be a certain way. And also how your brand grows. So you look back and you're like, 2-3 years ago I was doing it this way, 3 years down the road I'm doing like this. So it allowed me to make quite a number of mistakes. So when you're younger, there are mistakes that are permissible. You do something and people are like, they're young.
He's young,
But then you'll make those mistakes later on and people won't overlook it. So it gave me that grace to go through everything, make mistakes here and there, and then
so many young people are so against the whole suit thing. You talk about appearing in a suit. Personally, maybe because of the work I do, I rarely wear maybe pantsuits. Do you think that stuff matters?
It does.
The way you appear, physically, the way you dress.
Yeah, it does. I'll give an example. I'm meeting my friend. They are going out of the country and they're going to be away for a while, right? And I go to this restaurant where I'd been a couple of times, but this time I'm not dressed well. And the waiter tells me, you have to buy something. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have lunch with a friend in 30 minutes. Let me just have water. They tell me, no, you have to buy food. I'm like, So I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy food, but okay, you can get me water and soda. Bring a combo, right? He's like, no, if that's not the case, you have to wait outside. So I go with my shorts and baggy t-shirt and I stand in the parking lot for 30 minutes until when my friend comes. And the days I would walk in with a suit, it would exude a certain level of aura. And people would respect you. So the way you present yourself is very, very key. Yeah.
There's a certain way it exudes a different kind of level, confidence. People start to assume things about you that you might even have in that space. I remember I used in campus, I used to wear 6-inch heels to class every single day. If it's a 6-inch, basically I used to appear like I had it all together.
Yeah.
And I somehow kept getting all the opportunities to like host the conferences, host the panels, and the different. So like I think that definitely matters. So what are some of those opportunities that came only because you began before you felt ready?
There are very many. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Quite a number. I've done a lot of work with my former school.
That is, you can say the school.
St. Henry's College.
Ooh, Shaq. We used to crash on Shaq guys all the time.
Yeah, I still can. So. Because I haven't been out of there for a long time. But once in a while, you're called back to give a talk here and there. Once in a while, they're like, oh, we need profiles for the administration. How would you charge for that? And those opportunities I wouldn't have gotten if they actually didn't see me in high school taking those pictures, then putting yourself out there and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Let's talk about the big stage. What's like that one big stage that you did and you're just like, yo, I did that. Like what's that one job you did until today you can't believe you did it?
I won't mention the client. Okay, there are two. Let's say last year we shot Kampala's quote unquote biggest wedding.
Ooh.
Yeah. 2,000 guests.
2,000.
Yeah. It was it was sweet and painful at the same time. Yeah, so it was the biggest low-key wedding.
Yeah.
And then also we did a framework with a big donor that spanned over a year. So that was filming, photography, editorial writing, storytelling, and so on. Yeah. So those are the things that they keep me up at night. I'm like, no, we have to do this again. So I keep looking for the opportunities and so on. Yeah.
2,000. What was the pain point about doing that one?
First of all, the venue that we had to do the reception at, there was a lot of traffic, right? Because the 2,000 guests caused traffic. Yes. And covering every face that has attended and making sure everything is in order. Because that usually our team is 5 people standard. By the time we had to be 19. So coordinating
19 people.
Yeah, team of 19 people was quite tough. Interesting.
Yeah. That's like a whole taxi.
Yeah. So it was quite interesting.
Wow. So like in that moment, did you ever think the early Nathan, like for starting? Because I feel like you wouldn't have been able to unlock that kind of like opportunity if you didn't start early.
Yes, I really, every time I wake up, I'm like, bro, you're doing amazing stuff. And definitely there are times that you question yourself and so on. But, well, you look back and you're like, oh, you started early and you're doing this and, well, the road isn't straight, but you're still going.
That imposter syndrome. Did you ever face imposter syndrome?
Every day.
Even today, you still face it?
Every day.
Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like my red flags, like my toxic flag, because it never goes away.
Even the time you called me for Young and Branded, right?
Oh my God, yes! Nathan.
It never goes away because we were having a rough patch in business that period. I told you about the client that we had and then they didn't renew the contract. Then so it was like a tough 4 months. So in my head, I'm like,
what am I going to share?
Do I even have to be here? But then, well, God is good. You go through a rough patch, then you have a good month, then you have a good year budget. So it's,
I was so surprised. When I asked Nathan if he could join the panel, he was just like, are you sure you want me to be? I'm like, yeah, I have done my research. I'm sure I want you to be able to share. And then you recorded the video. Was it like that? Was that like really your first time recording the video? Like recording a video to say...
Actually...
Because later on I saw you posting videos on your Instagram.
That was the first video I made. And then I was like, I actually can do this.
Yeah.
So actually you telling me to record myself for the first time, I was like, okay. Let's roll. You see, Young and Branded was the place where I was like, you know what? I'm going to put myself publicly out there talking to people because I feel like putting yourself out there comes with its sweet points and pain points. Yeah. But then I was like, Let's do this.
I see that video and I'm like, stop. I always repost, I always like, I always post in my story. And I was like, okay, and then you actually are good at it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Pay me now because I'm not who.
Well, I left my wallet outside, but after here.
Wait, have you subscribed to the Young and Married podcast? You have? Oh, thank you so much. Wait, you haven't? Please do it right now. Tap on that notifications bell, subscribe, like, leave a comment. Now, let's get back to the video. So let's talk about some of the common excuses that so many young people give when they are starting early.
Yeah.
Excuses like, oh, I'm not ready. Excuses like, I do not have money. Excuses like, oh, I will wait for next year to start. What are some of those biggest excuses that give you goosebumps when you hear them?
I don't want to sound like I'm on a high horse or something, but
it's called tough love.
Yeah, I don't have money. I would say I've been privileged in my life, right? From the schools I've gone to the people I've met, to the circles I've been in. And definitely there are things I want to do right now for which I do not have the money, and I'm only trying to scrape capital to get there. But then I can never be there, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't have the money. Yeah, I told you I used to get pocket money of 20,000. Yeah. And there's a point where I performed so well, and my father gave me 30,000 that time. And then my mom is like, oh, man, ogenda muonona. So the thing is, I don't have money. One thing, I don't have the time. Another thing. Number 3, I'm still young. I have the time. It usually bothers me so much because, as you said, compounding. I'm a finance buff. I love things about finance and so on and so forth. For example, Warren Buffett started investing when he was a teenager, and 99% of his wealth came after his 60th birthday, right? So definitely was a billionaire at that point, but 99% came after that. So the small steps that you're going to take now are actually going to influence things later on. So I'm young, what? Yeah, it really sometimes rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, those things don't work. I'm waiting for me, I think my biggest excuse I don't like listening to is I don't have money to start. Because you can start anywhere with anything at any point, especially I feel like we're such a blessed generation, digital generation. There's so many opportunities online. I remember in my 3rd year, there was an opportunity that came up for camera for girls. So if you didn't have a camera, there was now this organization that was actually giving out free cameras. All you had to do was to prove to them in an essay that you really want this camera that badly, right? For me personally, I didn't have money for this. Is this kind of setup that we have right here? Like, I didn't have the money for that when I was beginning. I was using my Infinix Note 7 to record my videos. And it just, like, again, compounding. It gets bigger. There's a ripple effect that happens with time. Let's talk about overthinking. I asked you off air about overthinking. You're like, me, I never overthink. First of all, lucky you.
Yeah,
because so many people overthink.
Yeah,
I don't overthink, but other people overthink. You guys overthink. Let's talk about overthinking.
Yes.
And comparison. Have you ever been in a situation where you've overthought about something, or you've compared your success or your life story or your journey to somebody else?
Yeah. So overthinking, I think I won the genetic lottery on that, because my old man also, like, he just gets an idea, jumps on it. People call it impulsive. It has its pros and cons. Sometimes you might jump onto something and it doesn't work, but it has helped me a bit. Yeah. Because one of the biggest indicators of successful people is that they don't wait. You tell them that, okay, I want to do this, and I'm like, okay, ABCD, set up a meeting with this guy, and then they just get going. So don't overthink things. Definitely you have to weigh the costs and what, but if you want something, go for it. Just be extremely delusional. Comparing success. Extremely
delusional and just do it. Delulu is the Salulu.
So then comparison. Yes, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah,
110% every time you're going to compare yourself. It's more often that, oh, I want to feel better because I'm better than this person, or this person is way better than me. While I was at uni, I had another person who was in the same field as us. And I was constantly comparing myself. And then they opened up an office and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? But then later on, finding out the father owned the building.
Oh.
So I was like, you're comparing yourself against the wrong things.
You can
like,
never compete.
Run your own race. That's why I love golf, right? Because you're not competing with any other person. You're competing with yourself. The way you played yesterday is the way. So yeah, compete with yourself, see where you are and where you are, and see how to go on from there. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like comparison is such a killer, because you never know what somebody else is going through. You don't know their circumstances. People have different circumstances. You think that you are running the same race, but mukwano, you are on two different races.
Yeah.
So what would you say has been like your toughest situation so far in your journey?
Wow. Toughest situation, losing a big client.
Yeah.
There was a week. Actually, these things happened on the same day. They had to renew a contract that was quite big. And so that very day, I'm chilling, having a good day. And then we had supplied camera equipment to one of the parastatals. So they give me a call. They're like, oh, some of the cameras aren't working. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave here. Then I go there. And I actually check out the cameras, and the motherboard got fried. So then as I'm still there trying to understand what the situation is, the people from the other organization, they call me like, oh, sorry, you didn't go through. Your contract is not being renewed. Yeah, I think I spent like 3 days indoors trying to figure out. So, and that's the point where you're like, God, you brought me up here so that you can drop me. So, But for me, it was more of, it has taught me a lot about faith. I believe in God a lot more now, because I know I'm not here because of myself. Yeah, or whatever
it was a reminder.
It was a reminder, because I was getting to that point where I was like, bro, like,
guys,
look at me. So that was like the toughest point. But then I also know it's not the last. Many more are going to come, many more challenges. But then it's always like, keep your eyes on God, and then he'll lead the way.
As a fellow early starter, I've always had a problem with creative burnout, or like even physical burnout, because we begin early, so our momentum is really so high. You have to show up every single day. And because somebody saw how you've been showing up in the past, they expect the you of now to still show up in the same exact manner. Have you faced burnout before?
Yeah, a lot. It's actually one of the reasons why I pivoted to working with a team more than as an individual.
Ooh, yeah,
because there's so much you can do as an individual. You can't show up for 5 straight days as the same person. So you need like someone or a hand here and there that's going to really help pull you through when you can't.
Yeah. A good leader is a good delegate. I think I've had that thing before. You need to delegate to be a good leader, because you can't do everything alone. How is it finding the perfect team? Because I've worked with teams, Nathan. You train someone and then they step you in the back, or they leave you out to dry in the sun.
Hot sun, 35 degrees. But it's actually, I think that should have been the hardest thing I've faced, building a team and scaling. So building a team is very interesting, because, human resource is the hardest resource to work with. Finances, I have 1 million there, and it's going to be there, right? Human resource,
never sure.
You're never sure.
Unpredictable.
I used to be extremely short-tempered.
Yeah.
Until one time.
Really, you?
Yeah.
Nathan,
I seem to be very laid back.
Nathan, you are the chillest, coolest guy.
Thank you. I'm going to be the cool uncle or something. So this time we have a wedding in Bugolobi. Communicated to the team everything. Morning of the wedding, I called a drone guy and he's in Kasese. So I nearly lost it, but I was like, man, why should you get angry? But it's kind building a team, it's always about try and error, and then you get better at it down the road. So the earlier you start, the better. You onboard people. I had a team member who swindled me of a good amount of money. In at uni, actually. Yeah. We got a deal of like 1 million and they went with 800k. So far they've given me back 200.
Are they planning to pay you back in small installments or like?
But down the road, you get to know I can work with this person, I can't work with this person. This person tells me they're delivering on Tuesday, I'm going to communicate to the client Friday because I know Tuesday isn't Tuesday, or I get another person to support them. So
that's a really good. I'm going to take that trick from you. So let's talk about like your daily habits. Like when you wake up in the morning, what do you do? As a focused guy, as a motivated guy, wake up in the morning. Take us through your day.
Oh my God. I know I should be having a strong routine.
Yeah.
I'm not a creature of routine so much. So it depends, right?
Typical Gen Zs.
Yeah, Gen Zs, you guys need to. But Sunday, wake up. Of late, I've been really religious with going to church. Then afternoon, I relax a bit. Monday. So... No, this is really tough.
You're being exposed on that show today.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll wake up. Thank God for the fact that I'm alive.
Yeah.
Scroll TikTok for a while.
Yeah.
So
for creativity to tap into the creative juices.
Thank you so much. That's the word.
Not
I was
to
looking
waste
for
time.
it. Then I get up, have breakfast. Then I look at the work that we are doing. First of all, if we have pending work, and then if we have tenders that we have to work on, then I work on that. Evening time, most probably I what's that? Anyway, evening time, relax a bit. Then I see if there's a Rotary fellowship around. But
Rotary.
I spend most of my weekdays playing golf.
So what? Would you advise like somebody to join Rotary? Because I'm not in Rotary. I always see Rotary around. I've done a couple of sessions, but I've never like actually joined. Why do you think somebody that's watching should join Rotary as a young person that's starting?
Yeah, you're going to find a lot of mentorship, and then you're going to have a heart for helping the community. So Rotary has been branded in so many ways from the outside that it's like
for rich people,
then
employed people,
things like that. But so for me the biggest benefit I've gotten from Rotary is I used to be in Rotaract and I would give money, right? And then I would hope that the people there who haven't contributed are the people going to carry out the projects, go to the community. So I'd be like, no, I've contributed. But then I go to Rotary and guys are giving thousands of dollars and they're actually taking part in doing the work. And it humbled me. So it gave me that heart of doing work for the community. And then mentorship, there are so many people in there who have been where you are and are where you want to be, so they can easily mentor you through those different
and
stages.
Connects with you.
Yeah.
So if you could speak to the younger Nathan, what would you tell him about like today, like where you are today?
I would tell him
this is the part where we put your picture. Do you have like a picture of you like back then?
I have so many.
This is the part where we put your picture here and you're speaking to him. What would you tell him?
Off the record, I would tell him to avoid Kampala girls.
I will not ask you if you're dating, yeah?
So now, I would tell him to focus on the things that matter in life. That's family and probably making money. So, and focusing on his purpose.
Purpose.
Yeah, I don't think I knew my purpose then, but it was like something on the inside. I feel like my purpose in life is to make as much money as possible and give back as much as I can. It's something I picked from John D. Rockefeller, the first man to become a billionaire. That's what he did throughout his life. And it appealed to me then, but I didn't know that's what I should actually be doing. So yeah, that's what I would tell him. Follow your purpose and these other things will fall in place.
Follow your purpose and avoid Kampala girls, yeah? So we have this tradition here at Young and Branded where we play a game called They Are Young and Branded, but then you get to rate that, whether it is a yes or a no. Is it a 2 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 1,000 out of 10? Okay. So Nathan, are you ready for the game?
Yes, please.
They are young and branded, but started something last year and now pretend it never happened.
Yes, and of which it's okay, really. You try things and they don't work out, and also looking at our relationships. Yeah. My heartbeat now is unsaved and then the archive blocked. No, but it's okay. It's okay. That's life. So, like, really.
out of 10, how much would you? How would you rate that? Like, for somebody who's going through that, like, out of 10, how would you rate that?
In what regard? That it happened or something?
Yeah, that it happened.
Yeah, or that it happens.
Yeah, that
like
an
age. We're really all just figuring things out.
Yeah.
We need to extend grace to ourselves because we are living life for the first time.
Yeah.
There are guys who have come back a couple of times.
Yeah, so they're young and branded, but now help others start early too because they know how it feels. Yeah.
Actually, never have a fear to start or to ask the people who have walked your path, because it's only the people who are below you that will try to pull you down. But the people who are better than you, they'll try to pull you up. They'll be like,
until you're on their level sometimes, until you're on their level.
Yeah. So always play it like you're not there yet, so that they don't run away.
Yeah. It's funny how people are always open to helping, but then when you start to sometimes be better than them, then they get a little bit threatened, right? But don't get scared to ask for help. So they are young and branded, but secretly compare their day 1 to someone else's year 5. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's bound to happen, right? I have friends that I play with who have been in business for 10 years in a totally different industry. Some of them have retired early, then they're late 30s. They're driving big cars. Yeah. But then you want to be there with them, right? And the thing is that that's a very bad spot to be in, because at the end of the day, you're going to end up eating your seeds that you should be planting when they're eating their fruits. So you need to be very careful with that. So that comparison happens a lot. 10 out of 10. Yeah. You want to be in a Range Rover with someone who has been working for 50 years. So no. Yeah,
okay, that's a good one. So they are young and branded, but know deep down that starting messy is better than never starting. Starting messy is better than never starting.
110%, yes. I've met so many young people who are like, oh, I'm just starting this. I have friends who are even starting things now. But like, no, I don't have it all figured out, but let me just put out this website, put out this tweet, and then
see how it goes.
Yeah.
Now, finally, they are young and branded, but finally realized progress beats perfection every single time.
Yeah. 110%.
1,000 out of 100.
Yeah. Because it's also like what you talked about, overthinking. Just put yourself out there, because the thing is that you never realize the things that work and don't work unless you do them. Like, you learn by having hands-on approach, and so progress over perfection any day. I'm
like the number one anti-perfection ambassador. I do not think perfection is the way to go, because once you try to be perfect all the time, first of all, you procrastinate, and then you start to actually delay the actual action that needs to happen for you to move. Do not wait to be perfect in order to start, but rather start and be consistent, and in the process, you will be perfect. Yeah. So thank you so much for playing the game. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you so
Do you have
much.
any question, any young and branded bad for me that you'd like to ask?
Back to you. What just me on the show? They are young and branded, but they use their LinkedIn.
Let me read that. 0 out of 100. 0 out of 100. Use your LinkedIn. I used to fear using LinkedIn because I felt I was inadequate. Because I would open LinkedIn and I find people saying, I am the CEO at 20. And I'm like,
I am thrilled to announce. Why did you see that?
So I am attaining my 50th certificate.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yo, am I going to compete?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because LinkedIn is more like what Instagram was back in the day.
Yeah.
Pressure.
I feel like Instagram is more pressure now than then. Like then I would post my bracelets and I get like 200 likes. These days I'll post a very beautiful curated picture and get 5 likes.
Well, more, pressure, more of career progress. Yeah, because then, you know, like having a cool picture was the thing to die for. Yeah. And you are hoping that one of those Slayers 256 pick up your picture and repost it. But now LinkedIn is all that. Like you find people, someone is a comedian and their title is humor specialist. And you're like, what does this guy do?
Yeah.
Someone is an undertaker and their title is after-life transition therapist. You're like, so, yeah.
But I love the fact that LinkedIn gives us an opportunity to express ourselves beyond just the normal, right? You're able to express yourself, you're able to expand your connections and your network. So if you want to be young and branded and want to build your career and your connections, please join LinkedIn. Do not get scared by all those heavy captions people are making, even if you make them. That's why we have ChatGPT. For me, I love ChatGPT because ChatGPT helps enhance. It helps enhance our captions. So use that. One of my best opportunities last year came from LinkedIn. And I used to think LinkedIn was just about posting. Then I realized that people are actually seeing what you're sharing and they're keeping track of your consistency. And then somebody reached out to me and said, "Hi Hannah, can we please schedule a meeting for this and this? Would love you to jump on the project." And I was like, "Wow, am I being scammed?" No, I wasn't being scammed. Yeah. So LinkedIn is a really amazing platform. Use it today, choose it today. As much as you're using TikTok for the fun, use the LinkedIn as well just to build your career and your profile. Okay, Nathan, before we leave, we have this thing called We Are Young and Branded, but Still Learning, where we share that one thing that we're still struggling with, even as much as we are building as young people. So what is that one thing for you that you're still struggling with?
Networking, one.
Why?
No, because my social battery runs out very fast. That's one. And then I feel like people really go for networking events and they're all plastic.
Ooh, yeah.
So then number 2, working with a team, because you can't keep talent all the time. So people go and come, then you have to adapt and they also have to adapt.
And you have to train again, then you have to...
Yes. And then lastly, I think investing as well, from the business side of my personal life. Where to put your money, long term, short term, things like that. So those are things that I've been struggling with lately.
Yeah. Let's talk about investing. When did you start investing? Have you started investing yet? As a young person?
Yeah.
I personally began learning about investment last year. I'm not ashamed to say it. Yes, I began last year. Why do you think that a young person should start investing today?
It sets you up for long-term success. See, I talked about Warren Buffett. Started investing at 15 and most of the money came later. So all you should pray for is God to give you life, and then compounding does the best. You buy a piece of land at 2 million today, in 10 years you're going to sell it for 20 million, and that's all the difference that you put.
I think the one word I've learned from you today is compound.
Yeah.
So starting today, I'm going to be saying it's the compound effect. You compound it. Yeah. So thank you for the new word. Thank you for the new vocabulary.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you so much, Nathan, for joining us today. Do you have any last final words for anybody that is listening and they are starting early? As soon as they end this video, they are starting.
Mark Twain said, 20 years from now, you'll regret the things you didn't do than the things you did. So start now and you'll not regret it. It will set you up in ways of your networks, your finances, and so many other things. So
start now so that you don't regret 20 years from now. Thank you so much for joining us. Please leave your comments down below if you want to hear more about starting early. We are still running this for the next couple of months, and then just start early, guys. Like Nathan has shared, it's just a matter of being consistent. Whether you are ready, whether you are not, just start. It is a compound effect. It is a ripple effect, and it is going to work. Just do it. I think Nike's slogan is just do it. Yeah, so just do it. Do not forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. Do not forget to like. We'll see you next time with another Young and Branded episode with your host, Hannah Arinaitwe. Bye-bye.